Hi friends, and welcome to today's lesson for Spanish Court Interpreters. We're going to go over a few key terms, and then we're going to use them in example sentences. There's a few different ways of interpreting certain words, so if you have other suggestions or different ways that you've learned, please put them down in the comments down below so that we can all learn together. Disclaimer, I'm not even a certified attorney. I'm not a certified interpreter. I'm not an attorney. I am simply a student and we are all learning together here. But let's begin. Citation, as in the officer issued a traffic citation for speeding. Citation, we could say citatorio. El oficial expidió un citatorio de tránsito por exceso de velocidad. And again, with different ways of interpreting things. For example, issued, instead of expidió, maybe you prefer emitió. We're interpreting meaning here. Another one, child support, manutención de menores or infantil. For example, the court ordered the father to pay child support. El tribunal ordenó al padre pagar manutención de menores. A lot of courts use manutención infantil, but for these vocab terms, I looked at a glossary that Oregon Judicial Department put out that has English to Spanish terms. So because my state specifically uses manutención de menores in their forms, I'm going to stick with that one. Let's move on. Criminal trespass, entrada ilícita. Now let's use this in the example. The police report states that the suspect committed criminal trespass by entering the property without permission. This is kind of a longer one. Let's break this one down a bit. The police report. An option is informe policial. All right, so we know police report. What's another toughie here? Do you remember suspect? Sospechoso. And again, criminal trespass, entrada ilícita. So altogether, we could say, el informe policial indica que el sospechoso cometió entrada ilícita al ingresar a la propiedad sin autorización. District Attorney information. That is informe acusatorio de la Fiscalía. Information, if we're studying legal terms here, we have a criminal charge made by a prosecutor without a grand jury indictment. I think this is one that's going to make a little more sense once we hear it a lot of times in examples. Let's hear it. The court reviewed the district attorney's information before scheduling the arraignment. So again, district attorney information, informe acusatorio de la Fiscalía. And then the arraignment, do you remember what that one is? La lectura de cargos. So altogether, el tribunal revisó el informe acusatorio de la Fiscalía antes de programar la lectura de cargos. All right, our next term, child neglect. Descuido de menores. Again, my state loves menores for child. In the example, the caseworker said they received a report of child neglect last week. La trabajadora social dijo que recibieron un reporte de descuido de menores la semana pasada. What about criminal negligence? Negligencia delictiva. Let's hear this in a sentence. The prosecution must prove that criminal negligence caused the victim's death. La fiscalía debe demostrar que la negligencia delictiva causó la muerte de la víctima. So again, the prosecution, la fiscalía. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining along in today's lesson. And I made these flashcards, or I started working on them on a TikTok live, and some of you might have followed along with that. So I have more that I made during that live and working through creating other examples. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on TikTok lives if you'd like to follow along and study live with me. But thank you so much for watching my videos and studying together. Let me know, this is a pretty niche topic, but I feel like we have kind of a cool community here, so please let me know what brings you in here. I love learning more about you guys. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.